anything that stood out to you, and I know what you're going to say.
Fiend going to SmackDown.
Why did he go to SmackDown?
I don't know. Why did he? Because he's going to get buried there. I'm so upset by that. Like, I don't understand when they have something so good, so incredibly good that makes so much money. Like, they've already made probably like 15 t-shirts for Bray Wyatt, but they don't realize that he's good enough to put on, like, to push. That doesn't make any sense. Like, they're only going to decide to make money off him where they want to make money off him. They want to make him look bad, but then make all the money on merch and stuff like that, and then talk about how good he is, but not make him look good. Like, fuck you. That's so frustrating. Like, it's not fair.
They're trying to make the brand split matter again, and we were told that after the draft, Raw and SmackDown would have their own distinct rosters, and they wouldn't do the wild card bullshit anymore. That would be over. Done away with, thankfully. But we're seeing Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, again, in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel. So what's the point of that? I thought Wyatt would be traded back to Raw, and that obviously hasn't happened yet. But we're getting an interpromotional match at the next pay-per-view for that championship that you know Bray Wyatt's not going to win.
No.
Because they're not going to put two top titles on the same show.
No. I don't understand. Like, and when I said to you, like, the other day, like, he's not a SmackDown person whatsoever. He doesn't fit on SmackDown. They don't have, like, to me, they don't have somebody that is, like, completely gonna stand out on Raw. Like, Raw, to me, does not seem exciting at all. I don't really want to watch it right now. Like, SmackDown seems like the way better show because they have people that are more exciting. They have that wow factor being on Fox. They have, like, the whole, like, just the whole new look for them. I like SmackDown more now. So they should have just kept it as is without the Fiend and then just kept the Fiend on Raw because they don't really have anything exciting anymore for Raw. Like, it's just Raw's shit right now. Anyways, it's worse now than it was a couple weeks ago. So I think they should have just kept the Fiend on Raw. I mean, it makes no sense to put him on SmackDown. Who's he going to feud with? Who?
Not Brock Lesnar.
No.
He would lose in 5 minutes.
But not only that, they already... First of all, Rey Mysterio's on Raw, which makes no fucking sense. So how is he going to do the whole Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez thing? No, he was just a fucking narrator to introduce Cain Velasquez, who apparently, even though he can speak English, can't speak English on TV. And then, so he's not going to get a shot anytime soon.
Nope.
Because of the whole Cain Velasquez bullshit. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah. It's weird that they're doing the match again if they have no intent of putting the title on Bray Wyatt. Why do the feud in the first place? I don't think anyone would have complained if they had Bray Wyatt just continue to steamroll through the roster without winning the championship in his first 6 months back.
Exactly. I wouldn't have been upset at all if they didn't even go near this thing for another few months. Like, I don't care. But the fact that they consistently need to protect this fucking man, Seth Rollins, is so just mind-boggling to me. Because they'll make everybody they want look bad except for him. I don't know why they need to make him look good all the time. Like, maybe it's because he makes himself look bad enough on social media. So they need to protect him like a little fucking baby. Like, they literally baby the guy. It is so annoying. He even thinks he can have a fucking match with Steve Austin. Like, get a life.
Get a life!
I like him, but I don't like him anymore right now.
Wow. Especially after this Fiend bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. That's so frustrating to me. Like,
imagine Hell in the Cell sucked. We didn't have a chance to talk about that last week, but it was terrible.
Oh my god, it was so bad. I was so angry. I had to sit in silence in my room. Like, I was so mad about that. And I know I just said this, but they have Cain Velasquez. They have the Tyson Fury crap. They're pushing Braun Strowman for some odd reason, who's another person they like to protect like a little fucking baby, even though he sucks ass. I hate Braun Strowman. They have Brock Lesnar. They have they have so many other they have Bayley, the new
on SmackDown, you mean?
Yeah, they have Bayley's new character. So why the fuck do we need to put the Fiend on SmackDown? Why? What's going to make me want to watch Raw? All this new stuff is so exciting on SmackDown. They have enough new exciting things as it is. They should have
I think Raw has a pretty good roster. You're just upset that Bray Wyatt's on SmackDown, and I get it. But I do agree that he does not fit on the blue brand at all.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, they already had exciting new things on SmackDown. They didn't need to add the Fiend on there. Like, they could have just kept him on Raw because he's exciting as it is. And
I'm not really sure what you could do with the guy on SmackDown. Like you said earlier, is really my question. That's my concern.
I know. That's why I'm...
I mean, who do you have him feud with? If he's not going to win the World Championship anytime soon, which if it was Kofi Kingston right now, that would make some sense. But it's Brock Lesnar, who's likely not losing that championship until WrestleMania. And that's 6 months from now.
Yeah.
So unless you have Wyatt win the Royal Rumble and you try to rehab him between now and January, there should have been no reason to rehab him in the first place. The whole rehab process happened while he was out, becoming the Fiend. After he was made to look like a fucking loser for so long, they brought him back. He rehabbed himself by coming up with this character
that he did himself. No one else took off.
And now they've really gone back, and any momentum he's had, any damage that they did to the character that he erased by reinventing himself has already been redone because they booked him to lose to Seth Rollins, but the match was terrible and it did him no favors. So.
No, absolutely. Like, I was watching Ups and Downs on, I think, for Raw or whatever. I can't remember which one it was. And Simon said, Simon Miller, what culture? He said, he was talking about, because he's so pissed about this thing too, like everybody else is. And like, every time I think about it, my blood starts boiling. I'm so angry about it. But he said, he's like, clearly they picked who they like better, and it's obviously Seth Rollins for some reason. Like, they shouldn't even have strong opinions on all these people. They should just push them all, not equally, but push them all in a way that works. Like, the Fiend, it's not, like, if it was his time, if they think it's his time to give him a championship match, he should have fucking won. There's no other option. Like, I don't know why they thought that putting a DQ in a non-disqualification Hell in a Cell fucking match was okay, because it's not.
Wow.
I'm
Strong
so
words.
angry.
I know. Well, hopefully you won't be as angry after he loses to Seth Rollins again at Crown Jewel, but we'll see. We'll see.
How does that make any sense?
I'm just kidding. I don't know what's worse, Bray Wyatt losing. I mean, obviously I know what the better option would be, but it's kind of a lose-lose because you have Bray Wyatt lose in that match at Crown Jewel, and they can't do another non-finish because they just did one at Hell in a Cell, and it was bullshit.
They probably will.
Probably will, which they've done before in Saudi Arabia. But either have him lose or win the Universal Championship in Saudi Arabia, but it's in Saudi Arabia and one of the controversially, universally despised pay-per-views of the year after the, atrocity that was Crown Jewel 2018.
Do they even know who the Fiend is? I'm sorry, but like, do they? Do they watch
probably think he's the Undertaker's son or something like that.
But what I'm like, do the people who live in Saudi Arabia, do they have like up to date show, or do they watch older versions?
Yeah, they watch the show, and it's a pretty rabid fan base from what I know. It's not the fans' fault. I'm not shitting on Saudi Arabia, the country. It's just a government that's bullshit. I really know nothing about it. I have no idea how up to date they are. When it comes time for Crown Jewel, look at their reactions to the Fiend. I honestly don't think they will give a shit about the Fiend in Saudi Arabia. I think he will come out to fucking crickets. Unless it's Triple H or The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels or someone along those lines, they won't care.
Because what I'm saying is, if they don't have like the up-to-date product and they don't really know who the Fiend is, that's probably WWE's way of, if the Fiend loses, Seth Rollins isn't gonna get booed because they've seen Seth Rollins before. They don't know who this guy is, so they're not gonna boo. They're gonna cheer Seth Rollins. So I think maybe that's their way of, when the Fiend loses, because I've just accepted that at this point, and I'm glad I'm not watching it. Actually, I might be able to see that match.
We'll see.
But what I'm saying is, like, when he loses, he's still gonna get protected because they're not really gonna know who the Fiend is, which is bullshit.
Yeah, he's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose, which makes no sense, because if he wins in an alternate reality, if he wins to Brock Lesnar, why the fuck didn't he win to Seth Rollins? That makes no sense. No sense. And if they're teasing this whole Cain Velasquez thing, I wonder who's going to win. If Seth Rollins can beat Brock Lesnar, are you fucking kidding me? Of course Cain Velasquez can beat him. He's already done it once. It makes no sense.
Yeah. There are a lot of things they need to think about in the coming months when it comes to Rollins, Wyatt, Velasquez, and Lesnar for sure.